All right, so you're on this journey towards financial freedom, right? And we've been digging into this Forex trading course outline you sent over. And, well, for this deep dive, we're kind of pulling out the essential pieces, like a blueprint to give you a clear picture of what goes into learning Forex trading.
Yeah,
It's like,
that sounds about right.
yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty extensive outline, which is great for a structured learning approach, but we need to break it down. And the best place to start, I think, is understanding the very basics of Forex and familiarizing yourself with the specific terminology that goes with it.
So the foundation.
Yeah,
I think,
the foundation of it all. And yeah, that knowledge is really key to grasping everything that comes next.
Okay, so let's move along the outline here. The next thing we see is chart analysis, looking at chart patterns and candlestick patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll be honest, I'm not always glued to trading screens, so can you break down what's important about these patterns? Sure. So think of these patterns like signals, right? They're visual signals on price charts, and they kind of hint at where the price might be heading next.
Yeah.
Maybe up, maybe down.
Like a secret code almost?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So for instance, a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern that's a specific pattern, it can suggest there's upward momentum building.
Gotcha.
And chart patterns then reveal bigger trends and possible turning points where the market might change direction.
Like a heads up.
Yeah, they're early tools for making sense of how the market's behaving.
Okay, so we're trying to read the market's visual language here with these charts.
Exactly.
And then further down the outline, we hit fundamental analysis and sentiment analysis.
Right.
Now, how do these fit in with the charts we just talked about?
Well, if you think about the big picture, right, technical analysis, that's the charts we just discussed,
Yeah.
often focuses on the when to trade, like when to enter or exit a trade.
Okay.
And fundamental and sentiment analysis, those kind of tackle the why behind price movements. Yeah, so fundamental analysis that digs into economic news, things like interest rate announcements by central banks.
Feed news.
Yeah, and how that news could impact currency values, up or down. And it also looks at political events and how those might affect things. And then you've got sentiment analysis, which is like taking the temperature of the market,
Feeling the vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Is the overall mood optimistic? Are people feeling good about things, or is it more pessimistic?
I see. So it's like
And that context can help you make smarter trading decisions.
adding another layer of information
Exactly.
to your decision making.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, the outline mentions boom and crash trading pairs. And those just sound kind of intense to me.
Yeah, they can be pretty volatile.
Yeah.
The thing to remember is that their prices swing a lot really fast.
Wild.
Yeah. And that can mean quick potential gains, but also higher risk,
High risk, high reward kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the trade-off. So beginners got to be careful with those and have really solid risk management in place before jumping in.
That makes sense. So let's see, the outline also lists supply and demand,
Uh-huh.
which feels like pretty fundamental stuff.
Yeah, supply and demand, that's like a basic principle in all markets, really.
Right.
It's like a popular toy. The price goes up when there's high demand and limited supply.
Yeah, everyone wants it.
Exactly. And then alongside that, we've got Inner Circle Trader, ICT, and Smart Money Concept, SMT.
Now, those sound a bit more specialized.
Yeah, those are more specific approaches. ICT and SMT focus on the big players,
Yeah.
the institutional traders, and how their huge orders flow into the market and how that might show up in price action, based on those supply and demand dynamics.
So like tracking the whales.
Kinda, yeah. It's all about seeing those footprints, and those are definitely considered more advanced topics.
Right, so there's like a whole rabbit hole.
Yeah, a lot to explore there.
Okay, so deeper down the rabbit hole, the outline lists gape-filled, Wyckoff trading, and wave theory as advanced strategies, and then it mentions intermarket analysis.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be honest, that one sounds pretty complex.
Yeah, it gets pretty intricate. Gate-filled often looks at those price jumps that happen when there's no trading going on.
Like overnight gaps.
Exactly. And then Wyckoff trading is a whole methodology. It's all about spotting those phases of big buying and selling by those major players we were talking about earlier. And they do that by analyzing price and volume.
Interesting.
And then there's wave theory, which tries to predict future price moves by looking at these repeating wave patterns that are linked to market psychology.
Oh, so it's kind of like...
So it's kind of getting into the heads of traders.
Yeah.
And intermarket analysis that looks at the relationships between different financial markets, like currencies, stocks, commodities, and how they all connect to get a bigger picture of what's happening in Forex.
So it's all connected.
Yeah, it's all intertwined. Like a weaker U.S. dollar can often lead to higher commodity prices, things like that.
I see. So it's like looking at the global financial ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly. And then finally, the outline hits on trading management and trading psychology.
Oh, those seem like pretty crucial elements to me.
Oh, absolutely. They're essential. You could have the best trading strategy in the world, but without solid trading management, which includes risk control and having a trading plan.
Yeah.
And a good understanding of your own trading psychology, how to manage your emotions and stay disciplined.
Keeping a cool head.
Exactly. Yeah, because without those things, your long-term success is much less likely. Those elements help you protect your capital and stay in the game.
So this outline really lays out a comprehensive roadmap for learning Forex trading, from those core concepts to the advanced stuff and those vital elements for success.
Yeah.
It's a clear path forward, even though each area needs some dedicated learning.
Yeah.
So thinking about this structured approach, what single area of Forex trading feels most crucial for you to understand first in your pursuit of financial freedom? Think about where you might want to begin your own learning journey.
Good question.
Yeah, food for thought.
It is.
All right, that wraps up our deep dive for today.
Great stuff.
We'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.